Today, I'm gonna show you online destruction of epic proportions. I'm gonna teach you guys the specific defensive settings or the universal defensive settings I use when I play online against other human beings. And as you can see, it doesn't matter what they use. I held this guy's Cavaliers to 32%. Alright, so you can see this online precision right here, and I will be showing you all of the universal defensive settings. I'm going to show you also on-ball and off-ball techniques. In terms of on-ball, we're going to talk about shot contest, and for off-ball, we're going to talk about help and recovery, and also strong side help defense. I'm going to show you how to do all of that, and your defense is going to behave perfectly with the help defense settings I'm showing you today. It's going to be locked up city all day long. So yes, let's go into the universal defensive settings, and I'll be showing you the guidelines and rules I have to set them. It's going to apply to every team, and at the end of this video there will be Clippers, Spurs, and Cavaliers defensive settings for online gameplay, so stay to the end for that. But first things first, make sure you shut off adaptive coaching engine in coach settings. Make sure that's off. And for defensive settings for your whole team, make sure it looks like this. You want 3/4 bottoms for all post defense. Switch rules has to be in switch all. It has to be in switch all now. And P-rotate has to be completely off, so make sure switch all is on. Now let's start off with the wings. So we'll take a look at the settings for shooting guards and small forwards. Now if it's a wing that can shoot decent, like above 75 in 3-pointers, make sure you do the off-ball pressure to tight. On-ball pressure is going to be tight for everyone. Screen defense is going to be same for everyone too. It's going to be go over and catch hedge. But if it's for a wing that has like above 85 or 90 shooting abilities, make sure you set it to deny for off-ball pressure. But most importantly, for all wing players, make sure you set the P-rotate to no, the screen help rules to help and no rotation, and the help rules to help. So this is for all wings, all shooting guards, all small forwards. You want to do this because you don't want the wing defender to come all the way across court to help. We're not going to create help defense that way. We will create help defense, but it's not going to be like this. So make sure you have these settings on for all wings. And let's take a look at the point guard who can shoot decent. So if it's anyone, once again, above 75 from 3-point range, you can set it to tight. Or if they're really good at mid-range, also set it to tight. But anything under 75 in shooting, you can set it to moderate. And anything above 85, deny for off-ball pressure. Screen rules, all the same again. Force direction is always baseline for everyone. But for the point guard, for the help rules, you want it on help. For the screen help rules, you still want help and no rotation. But for the extend pressure for point guards, you want to turn it on to yes. I will break that down later in the video on how to do that off ball. So this is what you want for all point guards. So now, this is the fun part. The bigs. Power forward and center. This is where the help defense is going to come from. And this is where POEs, well, specific POEs, become super important and useful. So let's take a look at the bigs we're focusing. So let's take a look. We'll begin with Blake Griffin, who can't really shoot threes, and he's a power forward. So we're going to leave him on auto. And you see force direction, all the way from force direction to off-ball speed is always the same. On-ball pressure is always tight. But we're going to leave his off-ball pressure to auto. And even if it's a stretch big, let's say Kevin Love, nobody above, unless they're not above 90 in 3-point range, I'm leaving the power forward off-ball pressure to auto. This is important because our POE is going to fix it, so you can take a look at it. I'll show it to you later, but auto off-ball pressure for power forwards too. And as for the center, you want to leave it on auto because he absolutely cannot shoot. So why would you want to leave it on auto? This is because POEs are governed by auto off-ball defense. If your players are on auto, your POE rules will kick in. If you give specific settings to your players, those override the POE. So if you have specific settings to everybody, the POEs won't make a difference. So as long as they're not on auto, POEs won't kick in. That's why I want my off-ball pressure for my bigs to be auto. And I want to set it to shrink the floor. This is because on shrink the floor, any player on auto with shrink the floor on will gap off-ball. That means they will have the intention of protecting the paint. And this is important for us because we want help defense to come from our bigs, especially our center. Now let's take a look at another thing. For the screen help rules, it's also going to be on auto if you have a power forward who can't shoot, and help rules on help. This will bring maximum help. If you have auto off-ball pressure with auto help screen rules with help rules on, that's maximum help from the player. But for Kevin Love, because he can't shoot, so we're going to set it to help and no rotation, which means the guy is going to come down and help a little, but he's not going to leave him. This kind of makes up for the fact that we have off-ball pressure on Kevin as auto, because we have it on help and no rotation, so he's not going to leave him. They will recover. And for the center, obviously he cannot shoot, so it's going to be help rules on help and screen help rules on auto. Don't worry too much about the fact that the power forward who can shoot like Kevin Love is on auto, because most power forward shooters have slow releases. So as long as you have help and no rotation on, you should be able to recover in time and contest the shot. And I'll teach you how to contest well later, so that will help. But yes, and make sure switch rules is on switch all. This is important because this means when the help defense comes, our big man or our power forwards is not going to care about switching on to the guy that they're helping. So if like some point guard screws up, my center, who, because I'm using the Raptors, Valanciunas is going to come all the way and pick up Chris Paul as if he just switched on to Chris Paul. This is crazy help. But for the switch auto work, you're going to make sure on the matchups it's all set to auto. Leave all of this on auto because the moment you set one specific matchup, they don't switch with that guy. Like if you put Lowry matchup against Chris Paul, like nobody is going to switch with Lowry, and like if Lowry is all the way across court, no one's going to help Lowry. It will be Lowry guarding Chris Paul most of the time, so that's bad. Make sure all matchups are on auto and switch rules is on switch all. You do this combined with aggression to physical defense. If you do physical defense, once again, it will affect on players who have auto settings only, right? POEs only affect players with auto settings. If you have physical defense, the help will come hard and it's going to come super fast. So this will bring maximum help from the players we are allowed to help come from, which is everyone who we set to auto, which is Valanciunas, Patterson, and that's it. So our power forward and center pretty much. So watch this possession. So I screwed up here on ball. So watch. Jamal Crawford blows by my Terrence Ross. He gets across. But remember, screen help rules and help is on for Blake Griffin, which means DeMarre Carroll is prepared to help on Jamal. Off-ball pressure is also on auto, which means DeMarre Carroll, as the defender, is thinking shrink the floor and play physical defense. And because switch rules is on switch all, DeMarre Carroll is going to think physical, shrink the floor, and he doesn't care about picking up Jamal for real. So watch. DeMarre Carroll, look at him. He's leaving Blake Griffin now. He's taking the angle of Jamal Crawford's drive. He is picking up Jamal Crawford for good here. That's awesome help defense. And because DeAndre Jordan's guys on the same thing, help rules help. Off-ball pressure auto, which means shrink the floor, physical defense. You can see Potel, the guy guarding DeAndre Jordan, also coming down, forcing Jamal Crawford baseline, which is all we wanted. This guy's Jamal Crawford is crowded. We switch back to Potel, go get back to good rebounding position. Computer DeMarre Carroll challenged the shot. Perfect off-ball help. And here against the Cavs, so I have similar settings obviously for Tristan, who is a center. We got him on auto. Switch rules are obviously on switch all. And he also helped the help screen rules, and the help is also on. So what? This Dunleavy blows by my Carroll, but look at my Valanciunas' computer. Look at him shade Dunleavy. That's great computer help defense. I didn't even switch that. That was all AI. Same thing here. LeBron blows by my DeMarre Carroll. You can see Valanciunas is already coming down, leaving Tristan to help. But most beautifully, pay attention to Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry has help rules on help and screen help rules to help and no rotation. That means he will help, right? But off-ball pressure on Kyrie is tight. So essentially this means Lowry is going to help whoever drives, but he's not going to leave Kyrie. This is what these settings are saying, and this is what exactly Lowry does. Watch, Lowry shows on LeBron, stares at LeBron, while never leaving Kyrie, crowding this user's LeBron, forcing him to take a terrible shot in very tight spaces. Great help defense. And if you play help defense like that with your settings, you're going to be rewarded on offense. DeMarre Carroll, bang! Swish bomb, green release. So with that awesome help defense, you're also going to add in some off-ball big techniques. So I'm going to teach you how to use these techniques as an off-ball big, going extend pressure, show and recover, and also strong side help. So we'll begin by focusing on extend pressure. So remember, I had this set on to I suggest all point guards, but here we're going to be demonstrating it with Chris Paul. So I am letting computer do the extend pressure. Because you see me, I'm already off-balling as the inbounders defender, so usually a big. I'm off-balling as a big, as Patterson. I'm just letting Kyle Lowry, computer do the extend pressure while I off-ball as Patterson. This is a tactic I like to use against Curry on most point guards. So watch, I'm using Valanciunas, I'm backing off, that's off-ball big, extend pressure. This kind of throws off his offense, forces him to swing the ball around, but he can't find anything. Extend pressure at the beginning of a possession does deter an offense from setting up. He makes that there, but that's a dumb, tough shot. And here you can see I'm using Corey Joseph. I'm off-ball big again as the center. I'm just letting Joseph do the job. He rushes a terrible pass, forces user to make dumb mistakes. Now, extend pressure also helps with transition. You see here, Corey Joseph picks up Chris Paul brilliantly during transition, even though Chris Paul never really had the ball that long. So extend pressure also helps your transition defense holds true. And the best part about extend pressure is that you can shut it off. You don't have to go to the settings. You see me? I just switched to Lowry on ball myself this time, and I'm just bringing Lowry away. That's how you stop it. So if you don't want them to extend pressure for a certain possession, just switch on ball back to the point guard's defender and back up. And you see, worked out great. He's not used to the pressure, sometimes coming and sometimes not coming, forces turnover, easy too. And now here's some off-ball big techniques. I always preach guarding on ball, but you also gotta guard off ball half the time. It should be like half on ball, half off ball. And you can see, he's trying to post a LeBron, and I bring Jonas over. That's great off-ball big help. And here you can see something I love to do, off-ball show and recover. You see, I like to show and go into the paint. You see, I know the paint is wide open right now. So I switch to Jonas Valanciunas off-ball for a second, cover the paint, switch back on ball as DeRozan, computer DeRozan will recover. This really throws off users, and he has it in the high post. I see the paint open, so I switch back to Jonas, show again, and I switch back on ball, so I know when I switch back on ball, Jonas is gonna automatically recover himself. Watch. And they swing it to Austin Rivers, terrible shooter. I'm just gonna challenge the shot. That's great defense. So essentially, this is what you want to do with your center. Challenge people who come in the paint manually when they bring help. Always be prepared to switch to your center. And when you're guarding off ball, don't forget to guard off ball. That's great off ball center, on ball center defensive techniques. That's what you need. Alright, now let's take a look at some on ball techniques, which mostly I'm going to show you how to contest shots and at the same time how to cut off angles when you're playing one-on-one on ball defense. So you can see in slow-mo here, he's bringing up the ball. I'm using normal power, and you see, I'm not trying to run into his face. I'm trying to run to where he's going. Same thing, DeAndre Jordan, I'm not running at his face. I'm running to where he wants to go. That's how you want to play on-ball defense. You want to cut people off, alright? You can see in real time. See, I'm normal power. I'm not trying to run into his face. I'm just taking off his driving angle. Same thing, DeAndre Jordan, take off his driving angle. That's how you want to play on-ball D. It allows you to play really fast with turbo too, because you're cutting angles. And for defensive assists, always have it at 0. It's going to be very hard initially if you don't play on 0. But if you get used to it, you have full control of your defender. That's what you want. But mixture automatic shot contest is set to intense D this year. You want to do that because watch. See, in this instance, this is the possession where I was doing the show and recover. I was able to force Austin Rivers to take a bad shot because I have it on moderate here. So I want kind of him to see Austin Rivers as kind of open, and then I'm going to close out myself. But I know Intense D is on, so all I gotta do is run up to him and hold L2. I just gotta hold Intense D and I'll get a shot contest. Now, previous years, I suggest manual because we had right stick shot defense, but this year we don't. Right stick shot defense is a steal, and if you jump, you might bump into the guy and draw fouls. This year's shooting fouls are very prevalent. So you want to use Intense D. So watch, Chris Paul is open here because I backed up too much, but I hold Intense D to close the distance without going too hard and jumping at him, so no fouls, and I still get the contest boost. You can see the green line coming. See, this time Jamal's open, I'm late, so I run all the way up to him with intensity, no foul. Intensity equals no fouls. Remember that. You want to run up with someone with intensity to do shot contest, so make sure you turn intensity on. And with all of this defense I just taught you, this is what an ideal possession would look like. So just enjoy. Online gameplay, I am absolutely murdering this guy's Cavaliers. 32-50. And obviously you guys will be like, oh Sam, what are the Warrior settings? I just needed to show you guys these universal settings first because Warriors are a quirky team, right? So I'll show you guys these ones, understand these ones, try these out for yourself, and then I will show you the specific Warriors ones because they're based off of these, but they're slightly different because of how the Warriors are built. Alright, and in this possession, just watch the white shirts, watch my team form defensive space. Like we have kind of on a string, you can feel it. Watch as his Kyrie dive. I bring Jonas over, DeMarco's over. The Levy's open, so DeMarco recovers. Great defense, he has nowhere to go. Lock up. Killing people online with this. So here are the settings I promised. So there's going to be Cavs ones, Clipper ones, and Spurs ones. And most importantly, you can see me. I did these online before the game. So you can see me do all of this within 2 minutes. You can easily do all of this within 2 minutes. You can even change them in the timeout screen when you call timeouts later. I can show you guys in the next video how to do that, but my point is you can set all of them for every player on the other team within 2 minutes. You just need to know like what you're going with, right? So just study these ones so you can go with my universal defensive setting rules. And this is going to be long, so I'm just going to leave this running. As always, thanks for coming by. If you enjoyed this, please add me a like. And if this works for you, leave it in the comment section. As you can see, it works great for me online. So the point is you have to help defenders bring help. The bigs. we're going to leave the wing guys alone. But the bigs will bring intelligent help. Combined with the fact that you're willing to switch off ball to bring your own off ball help, you should have all the help defense you need on drive without bothering the wing guys and giving up open shots. Alright, so that's it for me today. Thanks for coming. I'll see all of you next time.